And welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Dorcas Chia. Our top stories: President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reaffirms the role of traditional rulers in government. The Central Bank of Nigeria orders banks, fintechs to store payments data locally. The African International Housing Show calls for applications for the 2026 Housing Innovation Challenge. On the foreign scene, we shall be looking at the United States and Iran interim deal, raising questions despite promise to end conflict. And now the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to strengthening collaboration with traditional institutions to promote peace, security, and national development. Represented by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, at the 8th Executive Committee meeting of the Northern Traditional Rulers Council in Jigawa State. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu described traditional rulers as vital partners in governance due to their close connection with communities. He noted that while security agencies have recorded successes against criminal groups, lasting peace also requires tackling poverty, unemployment, and social exclusion. The president highlighted key government initiatives in agriculture, infrastructure, education, MSME, support, and livestock development aimed at driving economic growth. Meanwhile, Gombe State Governor and Chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, Muhammad Yahaya, called for new strategies to address worsening insecurity in the north, saying outdated approaches can no longer tackle evolving security threats. The federal government has assured Nigerians that ongoing power sector reforms will soon deliver noticeable improvements in electricity supply to healthcare facilities across the country. Speaking at the Nigeria Power for Health Initiative's Investors Matchmaking event in Lagos, Minister of Power Joseph Tegbe said reliable electricity is essential for effective healthcare delivery and pledged that reforms in the power sector would produce measurable results. Tegbe noted that the initiative aims to support the solarisation of hospitals, expand access to clean and sustainable energy, and strengthen collaboration between the government, investors, and private sector stakeholders. He added that with over 35,000 registered health facilities requiring dependable power, Nigeria presents significant opportunities for investment in healthcare electrification, backed by government policy and regulatory support. Now, the federal government has announced plans to introduce a Nigerian digital postcode system to improve national security, public safety, and service delivery. Speaking at a stakeholders meeting in Abuja, officials says the initiative would help security agencies accurately identify locations, improve emergency response, and strengthen intelligence operations. The government also unveiled a smart national transport data bank to provide real-time transport data, improve planning, enhance safety, and support infrastructure development across the country. And now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has directed banks, fintech firms, and other payment service providers to store all payments transaction data generated within Nigeria on local servers by January 1st, 2027. The Apex Bank said the move is aimed at strengthening regulatory oversight, improving transparency, and protecting critical financial data. It also requires financial institutions to disclose the beneficial owners of major shareholdings to enhance accountability and combat illicit financial activities. In a related development, the CBN launched the Nigerian overnight financing rate, a new benchmark designed to improve monetary policy effectiveness, enhance transparency in loan pricing, and deepen Nigeria's financial markets. CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso said that the initiative would help create a stronger link between the monetary policy rate and bank lending rates, while boosting investor confidence and market stability. The federal government has resumed the mass trial of over 600 terrorism suspects at the Federal High Court in Abuja as part of its ongoing anti-terrorism efforts. Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi-San, said 490 suspects were arraigned on the first day, with proceedings taking place across 11 courtrooms. Several convictions were secured, including a 30-year sentence for Bello Liman for aiding a Boko Haram commander and a 20-year jail term for businessman Umar Bashir for terrorism financing. Fagbemi said the trials underscores the government's commitment to tackling terrorism and enhancing national security. We'll now take a pause here, and up next, a news stories from the beauty sector and the foreign scene. Stay with us.
Are you getting ready for another big one? The largest housing show in Africa. 2 decades of relentless exhibition and conference. The 20th edition of the Africa International Housing Show, happening from the 13th to 18th of July 2026 at the prestigious Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja, Nigeria. This premier event is Africa's largest housing and construction expo, attracting over 50,000 attendees in Africa and beyond, thereby giving room for developers, construction giants, financiers, home interiors, mortgage and microfinance banks, drawing from about 21 different countries of the world. Get ready to be part of history.
Watching Housing TV News at the hour, and over to the beauty sector. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Engineer Mukhtar Darma, has disclosed that the federal government's renewed Hope City housing project in Ibeju-Lekki, Lagos State, is nearing completion, with work now at about 90%. Darma made this known during an inspection of the estate as part of his nationwide assessment of housing projects being executed under the renewed Hope agenda. The project, which consists of 2,084 housing units, is expected to be commissioned in October 2026. According to the minister, the development is being delivered through a public-private partnership arrangement designed to accelerate housing delivery and expand access to affordable homes for Nigerians. He commended the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria for its role in financing a significant portion of the project, noting that the intervention would provide accommodation for thousands of Nigerians. Expressing satisfaction with the pace of work, Darma said many of the units already have fittings installed and are close to being occupied. Also speaking during the inspection, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Shehu Osidi, reaffirmed the bank's commitment to affordable housing delivery. Osidi urged developers to speed up construction timelines to ensure beneficiaries can take possession of completed homes without delay, adding that timely delivery remains critical to addressing the country's housing needs. The Ibeju-Lekki development is one of several housing projects being implemented nationwide to reduce Nigeria's housing deficit and improve access to decent and affordable shelter. Moving on, the African International Housing Show has officially opened applications for its 2026 Housing Innovation Challenge. The continental platform is designed to identify, showcase, and support transformative solutions targeting Africa's housing deficit and sustainable urban development. The challenge invites entries from a broad range of applicants, including startups, SMEs, research institutions, and government agencies. Organizers are targeting groundbreaking ideas across key sectors such as housing finance, construction technology, sustainable building materials, and climate resilient solutions. Selected innovators will earn the opportunity to pitch their solutions live at AIHS 2026 to an audience of global investors, policymakers, and industry leaders. Beyond the main stage, participants will gain access to strategic partnerships, networking pools, and potential avenues to scale their ventures. Priority will be given to scalable innovations that demonstrate a measurable impact on housing affordability, accessibility, and environmental stability. To enter, applicants must submit a concise 2-page concept note alongside a 5-slide pitch deck with optional supporting materials like product videos or brochures. This is powered by industry giants such as Dangote, NMRC, and Copen Group. The initiative presents a major push towards transforming African communities. Interested innovators can find full eligibility criteria and submission guidelines by visiting www.africanhousingshow.com or contacting the Secretariat at the number being displayed on the screen. Moving on to the foreign scene, the United States and Iran have reached a preliminary agreement aimed at ending the Middle East conflict and reopening the Strait of Hormuz, a key global oil shipping route. However, major details of the deal remain unclear, with negotiations on a permanent truce still pending. U.S. President Donald Trump said the agreement extends the current ceasefire for 60 days, during which both sides will discuss contentious issues, including Iran's nuclear program. Questions remain over Iran's missile program and support for regional armed groups. The deal has helped calm global oil markets, though shipping companies say it could take weeks before confidence fully returns to the Strait of Hormuz. Iran described the agreement as an important step towards ending hostilities, but stressed that a lasting peace deal has yet to be finalized. Both countries are expected to release more details in the coming days. Let's take another pause, and we'll be right back with business news and sports news.
I'm Debbie Erb. I'm the founder of DLE Advisors, LLC. I just finished a really interesting session talking with the audience here at the International Housing Show. I have attended the show before, and I have to say it's bigger. It's bigger and better than it was 4 years ago. An incredible array of opportunities, companies, and new innovations in the housing space. So it's very exciting to be here. Thank you, Festus Adebayo. He's my guy. It's so well attended, and there's so many people here that I know who are movers and shakers in the industry. So I definitely recommend attending if you possibly can.
I am Ada Fong, the former Deputy Director of Housing from the Hong Kong Housing Authority. I think it's a very interesting housing show and conference that brings together a lot of experts and talents and government officials in Africa to explore the subject of housing in Africa. It's a very worthwhile initiative that you do it once every year.
My name is Adeola Olushodo. I'm the Executive Director, Lagos State Development and Property Corporation. I'm here at the Abuja International Housing Show 2025, and this is a show that brings all the experts and all the major players in the real estate sector together. I must commend the efforts that goes into that, the consistency, and everybody looks forward to it, and of course it's well attended.
My name is Dr. Mark Mahaku Joshua. I am the Director General Taraba Geography Information Service. I got an invitation to attend, and I saw things like land reform. So my priority here is to interact with experts in the field, gain more knowledge on how things are done as far as land reform is concerned. The organizers of this event has done well. I at least expect the caliber of people I've seen here. Seeing the people that I've seen here, they have sent out a signal to me that it is not a child's play. We're here that really Nigerian mean business to organize such a show.
My name is Surveyor Abdulgani Ade Madibumen, the Surveyor General of the Federation. I want to really say it's a good program. This is the 19th edition of it. I want to say a good thumb up to the organizers of the program and to Nigeria in general. Hosting such an event is not something that comes easy. It comes with a lot of innovation on its own, like the team says, and it comes with a lot of experienced organizers. So I want to say a big thank you for those people that come all the way from far and near to come and be part of this organization.
Hello, I'm Maya Abdel Hamid, the CEO of the Social Housing and Mortgage Finance Fund in Egypt. This is my first visit to Nigeria and Abuja in specific. I've been invited to this housing show. This is my first visit to Nigeria. I've had a good chance to meet with all the Nigerian officials as well as the African ministers and delegations. I think the presentation helped a lot and giving insights to those attending. I also benefited from hearing other experiences from the experts from across the continent and the international experts as well.
My name is Roland Benoba, and this is the Roland Benoba Real Foundation for Housing and Urban Development. Shout out to AIHS. You guys are doing a great job. This is the 19th edition, and I think it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. Kudos to the team at AIHS.
Welcome back. Nigeria's inflation rate rose to 15.93% in May 2026, up from 15.69% in April, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. The increase was driven mainly by higher food prices, particularly staples such as onions, maize, tomatoes, yam, and cassava products. Food inflation stood at 16.96% year-on-year, while core inflation reached 16.82%. Despite the rise, inflation remains significantly lower than 26.06% recorded in May 2025. The MBS noted that monthly inflation slowed to 1.75% from 2.13% in April, indicating a slow pace of price increases. The Federation Accounts Allocation Committee has distributed 2.257 trillion naira to the federal government, states and local government councils as revenue allocation for April 2026. According to a statement from the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation, the distributable revenue comprised 1.26 trillion naira statutory revenue, 747.1 billion naira VAT revenue, and 250 billion naira augmentation. Though federal government received 787.35 billion naira, state governments got 772.36 billion naira, while local governments received 540.15 billion naira. Oil-producing states also received 157.25 billion naira as derivation revenue. FAAC attributed the increase in revenue to higher collections from company income tax, VAT import duty, and oil and gas royalties during the period. On sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles have been ranked the second highest team absent from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. According to the latest FIFA rankings, the team remains 26th in the world, behind only Denmark, who is 21st amongst nations that failed to qualify. Former England captain John Terry described Nigeria's absence as a major loss, praising the team's quality and potential to have made a deep run in the tournament. The Super Eagles missed out after losing to DR Congo under penalties in the final playoff round, marking their second consecutive World Cup absence. Despite this setback, Nigeria remains Africa's third highest ranking team, behind Morocco and Senegal. Uruguay were forced to settle for a 1-1 draw against Saudi Arabia in their opening Group H match of the 2026 FIFA World Cup in Miami. Saudi Arabia took the lead before halftime through Abdullah Al-Meri, but Uruguay responded in the second half with an equalizer from Maxi Araujo after sustained pressure. Despite dominating a possession and creating numerous challenges, Uruguay could not find a winner as goalkeeper Mohamed Al-Awas and the Saudi defense stood firm. The result leaves Group H wide open with all 4 teams, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, Spain and Cape Verde, on 1 point after the opening round of matches. And that's just the size of our package on the news today. But before we go, a recap of stories that made the headline. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reaffirms the role of traditional rulers in governance. The Central Bank of Nigeria orders banks, fintechs to store payment data locally. Africa International Housing Show is calling for applications for the 2026 Housing Innovation Challenge. On the foreign scene, we told you that the United States and Iran interim deal raises questions despite promise to end conflict. For more news in the housing sector, do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa. You can follow us on all our social media platforms. You can also download the Housing TV mobile app and the free TV app on your Google Play Store to stay connected to news and housing updates. Many thanks for watching. I remain Dorcas Chia. Bye for now.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing TV Africa, on Twitter, Housing TV Africa, Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.